Hello, YouTube. I know we are 3 days removed, ever since, or by the time you're watching the video, I should say, from the original Arknights Endfield, like, 15-minute gameplay trailer they released. And it was pretty good. We enjoyed it. But what if I told you that we also found a dev interview regarding Enfield and the big changes they made versus Beta 1 to Beta 2, the one that's coming up in 4 weeks, something like that. Because there is one that exists, okay? And if you do enjoy the content, obviously, please like, comment, subscribe. We are flying right now on YouTube. If you guys want to follow, subscribe, come follow the Twitch channel as well, which you can see these. Whoa, that's the wrong hand. You can see these people. You're more than welcome to, okay? Twitch.tv/Max and Gacha, okay? Now, we're not plugging. There was this tweeted out and this posted, essentially mentioning that was an interview with Lowlight, which is one of the devs and was like an art director as well as like an actual game developer, and Hif on creating Arknights Endfield. They use a heavily modified Unity engine that allows large map exploration without loading, and there will be tower defense elements with the base structures of all combat. Tower defense elements with the base structure for combat. Listen, we are having core Arknights in Arknights 2, ladies and gentlemen. That's kind of what's happening here by the sound of things, okay? And obviously when you click this, it's going to not be in English. If it chooses to load, it's super slow. But I do have a translated version of it, so we can actually go through it together, okay? Give me 2 seconds, and I'll pull that one up. All right, here we have it, okay? So, facing the brand new Arknights to the end, we asked Yumaneko and Hif many questions. All right, I'm going to paraphrase a bit of it because it is obviously translated. It's not really good English, so I'll read ahead and kind of adjust it a little bit. But yeah, that's essentially the gist of it, okay? On December 14th, Arknights Endfield released a new PV after more than a year and a half, and officially announced a retesting, which is going to be the beta test in January. That'll be carried out in January. Yep. Okay, a day later, a 15-minute demo of the retest was released, and it looked goddamn good. We can all agree on that, right? We can all agree on that. In the beta test, we saw we could place turrets around us to base help us. Yeah, we did. We did see that in the test. It's really cool, but the fact that it actually matters into the gameplay is super interesting. Like, I do wonder if the bases now, you actually need good artillery and stuff kind of surrounding it in order to keep the stuff in it safe and not get damaged, like a Clash of Clans type of vibe, you know what I mean? It'd be interesting, at least. Maybe I'm reaching too far, but it's a little bit of a hypothesis we could run with. But regardless of that, from the live demo, we can see that compared with the last test, Enfield has undergone crazy changes. Big true. From heaps and heaps of comments, most players are looking forward to the next test and have curiosity about the type of Enfield they will be playing. All right. Thanks to the invitation from Hypergriff, and we had the honor to play the current version of Enfield in advance. After several hours of playing, you're honored to have the opportunity to communicate with two main creators, Yumaneko and Hif, or HYF. Either or. I don't really know which one is the correct phrasing. Anyway, regardless of that, we took this opportunity to have an in-depth exchange with the two main creators and issue that everyone, and issues that everyone is concerned about. The current version of Arknights Endfield is different from the technical test version. What kind of work does Hypergriff Network want to present to players? And the following is our experience and recordings. First, make sure you like it, then hope the players like it too. The first thing to say is the current version of Enfield with the technical test version can be said to be 2 games. The combat system has been greatly adjusted. That was one of the biggest complaints. I am glad they have changed this, okay? And a large number of cutscenes and performance has also been added. Yeah, and this time you can now play it in English, and I believe it's not gender locked only to female administrator. You can play the male one too if you want to. Amongst a lot of other things, are the first 2 things I can think of off the top of my head. And new gameplay mechanisms, mechanics, and maps have been added. You saw in the trailer, you saw in the 50 minutes gameplay, there's a lot more areas to mess around with, right? And the scene maps and integrated industrial systems have been optimized in the past year. Enfield has been completely renewed, right? It seems like with how mixed the first beta was, they really went balls to the wall and adjusted it, and I respect them so much for that, man. I really, really do. The combat system we experienced this time is a relatively complete squad combat ARPG gameplay experience, which is what we want, okay? Now, these are the new changes. The movements of all the players and enemies have been optimized. The feel of controlling characters in battle has been improved, and the camera in battle has also been optimized. That's so good to hear. That's so good to hear. From what I remember, the gameplay it wasn't that it was bad, it's that it felt empty, you know what I mean? With the fact that everyone else runs around you, it kind of creates a bit of a weird ecosystem where it's very, very easy, because you don't really have to do too much and everyone else attacks around you. Not to mention the enemy AI barely even hurts you. So it sounds like that's been changed. We'll have to wait and see to see it, but I'm excited to try it if I do get in, okay? And the skill system has completely been reworked. So now they've changed everything regarding intro skills. I don't know if there is outro skills, but like, you know, skill trees, base mechanics, that kind of stuff. You don't need to manually select a target when using skills. Oh, you had to do that? Okay, nice. So now it's more you can just like rip it. Okay, interesting. But the whole team shares the skill resource. This resource increases over time, and with combat actions, and players need to think about strategies in battle to determine whose skills are more appropriate at the moment. Okay, so I'm wondering if this is kind of a bit of a translation problem. I think they mean ultimate bar. I would very much assume that this means ultimate. So whenever your ultimate is at max, you choose who rips it, as opposed to having someone banked and you have all 4 on ult and you rip all the ults consecutively, right? Just like how Star Rail does it, just like how Genshin does it, just like how you can do it in Woowa. I think they're kind of doing it similar to the original ZCZ before the patch, where it's 1 ult for the whole team. I think that's probably going to be better, and it might create more of a skill curve, you know what I mean? Might be a bit more of a skill issue if you're bad at clearing endgame stuff. So the new combo system has been added, alright. When the combo skill triggering conditions are met, the player can use the combo skills to command the corresponding members to the team. This combo skill conditions of each character, or the combo skill conditions of each character, are different, such as the character hitting a heavy blow, the enemy falling into an abnormal state, multiple enemies being broken at the scene. Okay, so right off rip has a break effect. Okay, right off rip we have a break effect now, okay? Good to know. I like a bit of break effect. I think Wua's got the best open world gacha gameplay there is right now. Genshin. Yeah, you're not even close. And they do get staggered from when they do get broken, which is good to know. The one thing I'm wondering here though, is how deep is it going to be? Like, are we actually going to be talking like actual combos that will legitimately influence beating stuff quicker, as opposed to it kind of being merely cosmetic and you still beat stuff in the same amount of time? It just looks flashier for some than others. We'll have to wait and see, but I am excited nonetheless for them actually saying there is a combo skill set, all right? Just knowing there is combos intended to be in the game, that is huge. That is absolutely huge. And now characters can dodge enemy attacks by dashing. Okay, so originally you couldn't do that, and now your dash into sprint is used like most other open world gacha games, which is a good thing. The hatred line and other MMORPG-oriented designs in the previous version have now been deleted or adjusted. They actually have removed them. Okay. Teammates will also be proactive in attracting enemy attacks through confrontation and evasion. Okay, so teammate AI has been adjusted to be a lot better, which is interesting. I didn't think I found it that bad. I think I found the enemy AI more glaring as an issue. But it looks like across the board, this new combat system, if you can call it new, right, is obviously some things reworked and some things have been outright deleted. So it is pretty much new. All right, let's not fool ourselves. It sounds pretty good, to be honest. They address the big issues people had. They outright remove shit people didn't really get. Again, it's still early days. I'm not trying to glaze before even playing the new version. But this is a very, very positive sign, okay? Now, after experiencing the new combat system, you found it much more exciting and intense than the past. That's good to hear. I can clearly feel that the development team wants to emphasize the sense of strategy and cooperation in team combat. So it feels a bit like Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Fantasy Remake kind of vibe gameplay, and I love the idea of that as a gacha game. That sounds so fun. What surprises even more was the courage of thinking of a development team to overturn an entire system and redo it. Exactly, because Griffland don't miss, alright? They just don't. Asked the two main creators, Haima and Hif, about the design ideas of the battle system. Hif asked for the advice on design ideas of the combat system. Two main creators asked for advice. Okay, so pretty much what they're saying is when they had to remove stuff, they sought out more help to get a more unbiased reaction. I think that's what it's trying to say, at least. And the core combat design concept of the end of Enfield is real-time combat with emphasis on strategy. So real-time strategy, open world, not turn-based. Okay, interesting. In addition to the out-of-game strategy points in team matching, players can maximize the benefits in each battle by allocating skill energy, controlling orders of skill release, considering teammates' combo skills and other decisions. Look, I don't know about you guys, they sound like they're trying to make it really, really deep, and I love the idea of that. I don't know if the interviewees are just hyping this up way more than what's actually going to be in the tin when we do play it, but they're making it sound like they've reworked a lot of the glaring issues of the combat being very bland, and I am eternally grateful for you to do that, Griffline. Thank you, okay? At the same time, the experience of squad battles with multiple characters on the same screen is their design focus and also one of the technical abilities. Okay. I don't really know what to make of that. I'm gonna ignore that. I don't really know what that really means. Maybe I'm having like a brain fart right now, but it just sounds like they're kind of reiterating this bit. If team members are too autonomous, the combat strategy will reduce to the positive feedback of the strategy will be insufficient. But if team members are relatively slow, it will reduce the fun of multiple people on the screen and lack interaction between team members, thus affecting the experience and sense of immersion. Alright, so I think this is saying, hey, we are going to live tune this patch according to what you guys say, okay? I think that's what they're kind of looking at here. Still no comment on co-op? Dude, I think if you want co-op, you better wait for an answer. I don't think this is the game you want if you want co-op. Not saying it won't exist. I'm not saying it's not going to exist. But with every gacha game to date, co-op has been an afterthought. So if you are a co-op enjoyer, I don't know if Enfield is going to be the game to really bring that home for you, okay? I'm just putting it out there now. Purely just me going off history, but I don't know. And in fact, in the single-player game industry, squad battles have been discussed in a long time. However, in other domestic products in the same period, perhaps because of the demand has not been verified by the market, we have not seen widespread discussion after this experience. We can feel Enfield is studying and seriously studying. What the hell? Enfield is seriously taking studying into squad battles. So I think they're saying this, they're seriously looking into team cohesion and combat mechanics, which is a good thing, okay? Echoing the combat gameplay design is the level design. Okay, so they're saying that they're building the world around the combat and vice versa. Sounds nice. And another core gameplay of the end, which is also a gameplay that connects multiple systems of the game, is integrated industry construction system. So this is the second base. This is the base from Arknights 1, but it's actually in Arknights Endfield, alright? It's that along with the satisfactory side of it. This part has also been optimized and enriched in the current version. First of all, the basic construction operation has been optimized and adjusted. The top-down quick construction of the current version is more perfect, and players can plan and build their own bases through more intuitive perspective and operations. At the same time, the current version has added combat facilities and designed a matching stronger defense gameplay in which towers will play a big role. This means that infrastructure is no longer just a feedback system for rewards, but also has become part of the combat experience. That sounds so fun. Look, now we know that it's not just satisfactory grinding for mats, you need to actually defend it as well. I love the idea of that. That sounds so fun. Okay, tower defense feels like home. Yes, it does. In addition, players can set up the combat facilities on the map and through the integrated industrial construction systems to help themselves clear monster spots. Yeah, so you did see this in the beta, in the character demo. If I do pull it up really quick, give me a moment. I know exactly what they're referring to with this, which is great. So if we open this up, all right, real quick, I believe it's around here, very early in. Yeah, so when you fight this, if you guys remember, oh, sorry, not these ones. If we go a little bit more forward, we blah, 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 blah. This one. See how before this fight, right? Before this fight, they set up some stages. Oh, some buildings, I should say, right? And I think this is done with the intention for if you want to clear stuff more efficiently and you have a set route for your daily grind, this is what you're going to use, all right? You're going to have this stuff set up preemptively so you can just run through your towers, insta-kill stuff, and you keep your run going, yada, 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 so on and so forth, right? I think this is done with efficiency in mind for your daily grind. And I think that's a really good thing, because as you can see, they are lighting this up. And that's great to hear, right? But that's what they're referring to in regards to that, okay? Regarding the integrated industry system, we have always had the question, is this gameplay too heavy for two-dimensional multi-terminal game? Taking advantage of this exchange opportunity. We also raised the question and received detailed answers. There seems to be a game position from intentional discussion in gameplay. 2D mobile games gradually declining. See, self-aware. Oh my god, self-aware. They understand that this is the past of gacha games. We might have a good dev team in our hands. I'm just saying. They might know when, stuff is bad. And they might know how to up it, which is goated, okay? I love that. This may just be a result of marketing shaping over a long period of time, but doesn't mean the players do not want or like new gameplay. Continuously updating and exploring more fresh and interesting gameplay in the game can be regarded as original intention. We have been insisting on this since Arknights in Enfield, and scalability integrated industry system is very high. Which also lays the foundation to subsequent continuous innovation in gameplay level. I like that they're being so open that stuff just sucks, all right? That it's in the past, the old meta of gacha games is the old meta for a reason. There's a reason Azalane's not pulling in like $20 million a month anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah. And look, from there, this pretty much sums up the part we care about, okay? This is mainly saying that, hey, the combat system has changed, completely reinvigorated. They asked some questions regarding the Arknights IP and the changes in the future. It's all, to be honest, a lot of filler, so I don't want to bore you with it, alright? They're like saying it, Enfield is here to blend reality and fantasy in a futuristic Star Trek kind of experience, right? Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Which is cool, which is nice. I have nothing against them going into this kind of stuff. They explain character designs as well if you want to read these and explain the early findings of, like, Chen, you know, the new Chen, old Chen. If you look at me, you know what? I need to go full screen for this because I'm losing my damn mind. If you sit there and you goddamn tell me this is not the same Chen, I do not care. Her design is clearly based off the Chen from regular Arknights design. Don't split hairs, okay? I don't know why people are so mad at this, but Chen is Chen, alright? GG. Oh, man. But yeah, Chen is Chen, alright? Design's cool, whether you like it or not, I don't really care. And you have some more designs here, like this was Chen, this was like option B, option A. I'll link it in the description if you want to go look at the other stuff yourself, but I wanted to cover the stuff that was important, which was the combat. You know, and I will say as well, I will show you this stuff, they do have more screenshots of places to kind of show you how nice it looks, alright? It legitimately feels like, this is in-game screenshots by the way. You have signage, great water. This is in-game, almost like an RTX showcase of a gacha game, man. I thought Girls Frontline 2 was like the highest spec for like direct detail and design. But with what we're seeing here, man, I think that's just, I think this might be taking the cake. What is this even? This is crazy quality, okay? And then yeah, it goes on and says some more stuff. A lot of it's not really important or relevant to what we're talking about here. All right, like stuff like this, feel reality. The experience of the tech test in this version, we found that progress of Enfield on technical level has exceeded expectations. As Hypergriff's first large-scale 3D project, the audio-visual experience can be described as rich and stable. Okay, I guess, like, you're not really going to get much for talking about this kind of stuff. Yeah, so I don't want to drag stuff any longer than it is. This is nearly going to be, by the time you're watching this, probably like a 15-20 minute video maybe, so sorry for wasting your time with this kind of stuff that's boring. I just want to explain this kind of pointless. Otherwise, I'd be here for another 40 minutes explaining this kind of stuff, right? So yeah. It's a good looking game. The game looks amazing, right? It looks flawless in my opinion. They changed the biggest issue, which was character AI, both ally and enemy, in the overworld, and they also completely changed the combat. They added intro skills, they essentially deleted and reworked from the ground up the way the ultimates work, and like their equivalent of like concerto charge and all that kind of stuff. It's looking good and it's looking interesting, okay? But yeah, guys, we appreciate you. Don't listen to him. I don't know what's going on here. Say what you want to say. I'm open for discussion. Just don't be a, yeah, don't be a weirdo about it. You know, the whole Chen stuff, I don't get why people get so sad about it. Anyway, regardless, boys, thank you so much for watching. And if you liked the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye now.